Hi everyone, this is Christine from See You Next Tuesday Media, and we are at the Registry Theatre in Kitchener, and today I have Juneyt with me. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you for having me.
So could you please just tell me a little bit about yourself?
My name is Juneyt. I'm a local musician. I came here in 1998 when I was 22 from Turkey, and I do music full time, and I play flamenco guitar, jazz, flamenco, and Latin. And I also perform at restaurants and bars, just what Lawrence was talking earlier.
Yeah.
And I also do a lot of concerts as well.
And so where did your musical journey start? How old were you? Where were you?
I was 18 when I started, back home in Turkey. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we had a really poor childhood. Mm. So my first guitar was a $5 pawn shop guitar, which you could only play the first 5 frets of it because the action was so high. Yeah. And the guitar lessons were like about $150. So we couldn't afford it. So I basically had to learn it by myself on a VHS videotape. Wow. A lot of people don't know what VHS is.
I remember. That's my childhood. I remember VHS.
Right. So I learned it from literally a videotape, and kind of like persistence, and it got me where I am right now.
So when you moved here, were you was your job playing guitar? Were you doing music when you first came?
No, when I came here, I did literally every job possible, and just like every immigrant, every refugee, I started at a Tim Hortons.
Okay, there you go.
So I used to. I didn't have any money for transportation, so I bought myself a $5 bike, and I used to bike in the middle of winter. Sometimes my hands would stick on the steering wheel. It was tough times, but it was good times. And I was working in many businesses and jobs, and I had university degrees from back home, but they weren't accepted here, so I had to study all over. It's normal, it's life.
So with doing music, do you now do it full time?
It is full time, yeah. It's full time music. I also, just because my ADHD, and I do much other things, but music is full time, and I have another full time business, which is carpentry and woodworking.
Wow!
And I do those two together, and which is my favorite thing to do, because I think every musician especially, needs to do what they love to do as their job. That's what my goal is.
Do you think carpentry and woodworking influences your musicality in any way, or does your music?
The other way.
It's the other way. So
that's a great question. Actually.
Yeah. How would you say the music influences the carpentry?
Well, it calms me down all the time, and music is my everything.
Yeah.
And I literally do a lot of my musical motives within my carpentry, and that was my family business back home, marble masonry. I'm a marble mason originally. Okay. And bringing that into here was basically because of music. And I wanted to be more creative and just create a purpose for myself. And that's why it influences that a lot.
Okay, and you said you play flamenco guitar?
Yes.
Where did that come from? How did you start playing flamenco guitar?
The motives in flamenco guitar is very similar to the Turkish music. Okay. And actually, flamenco comes from Moorish background, which is originally kind of like Arabic.
Okay.
The music, that's why when you hear it, even the word flamenco derived from words fella, mengu. Those are Arabic words, means the flight of the pheasant. So that's where it kind of derived from. The motives are very similar. So I decided, you know what? I really love this, and I wanted to pursue it. Yeah. It really sings to me every time I play it. So I mix Turkish music and flamenco music together. And as a matter of fact, I have a band right now. We're the Gypsy Kings tribute band. I'm not sure if you guys know Gypsy Kings.
I don't, sorry.
It's very famous back in the day.
Okay.
When we were younger.
Yeah.
And it's Latin music, Spanish music. And we tour all over Canada, basically.
Nice. Amazing. So does your Turkish heritage influence your musical style? I guess we did speak about that with the flamenco.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And when you with your music, is it playing more of covers, or are you doing original music?
As one of the gentlemen was talking about, I literally play 8-9 times a week.
Wow.
Which every restaurant and every bar in town, I performed and still do perform. Yep. Some of them actually have been performing for, like, for instance, there's a place called Molly Bloom's in Waterloo. It's a university crowd, so I play cover tunes there with my band member, and we've been there for 14 years every Thursday.
Wow.
And that's a long time. And some bars I've been for 17 years and like regularly. And one of them is 11 years. The other one is 14 years again. So it's been a lot of places like that. So I have to kind of do that. And as they were mentioning, I try to basically mentor a lot of young people, young musicians to get them in.
Yeah.
And they always follow me to where I play. And I will kind of like name drop them. And
you vouch like for them. Yeah.
Get them in, you know.
I love that.
That's what we have to do as musicians in town, like aged musicians.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Would you say, like, Kitchener-Waterloo, would you say it's a place that's like very supportive of the arts?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised when Sydney, right? When Sierra was talking about Toronto, you're absolutely right. Toronto is unfortunately, it's very sad for Toronto art community because they are not, it seems like they're very separate. Like everything is like little bubbles. In here, everybody's together. Like everybody knows everybody. And we always help each other. Yeah. And that's why we're strong.
That's something I noticed. Like, we've only spoken to a couple, different people here. But like, for example, the first interview we had was Amit from a Good Company.
I love Amit.
And then we were saying, oh, later on we're talking to Juneyt, and he's like, oh yeah, I know Juneyt. Like,
he's awesome.
Everyone knows everyone. Like, it's amazing. Like, that's something you definitely don't get in Toronto. Maybe neighborhoods are like close knit.
You're right. Yeah.
But like across the whole city, there's not that like close knit kind of feeling. So that's what we're trying to inspire. Yeah, like that's a really
good point. Yeah,
it's a really good thing. Like, to have that kind of community, because community, like, it supports you when you don't have like other social services or whatever to support you. Your community can help support.
And the great thing is, like, it's not just Kitchener. It's Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, Guelph, Stratford, and Elora, Fergus, like 9 cities all together. They all support each other, and everybody knows each other. Yeah. Like, for instance, Lorna McKenneth. You know Lorna McKenneth? She's a world-renowned musician from Stratford. Oh. Lorna McKenneth is huge, and she comes to our shows. Yeah. Like, that's that kind of connection, and she's from Stratford, and she's massive. Yeah. Sold like 20 million albums in Europe, and she just can't just stay at home. I don't care, but no, she goes out, supports the local music. That's what we have here. So lucky here, like, honestly, so lucky. That's something that's really cool. Like, I didn't know this before today. And I live in Oakville, so it's like pretty close. I love Oakville. Yeah. I love Oakville. But yeah, like, I didn't realize this much was going on in Kitchener. Right. It's so cool. Yeah. Stratford, yes. Lorna McKinnon, Justin Bieber, blows my mind. Yeah. Local talent. Yeah. Okay, so I know, let's talk about the pandemic. It's kind of like a sore spot to talk about, especially, I guess, for artists. Was it a tough time for you? It was absolutely tough time. But, I think tough times create like the same reaction in musicians because we are creative and we create nothing out of nothing, pretty much. That's what we do, is when we create music. So that's when a lot of my musician friends, we decided, we should do online shows and then get people to pay us, like, online. Yep. And that's what we went towards. And it was the best because, I know it's so bad to say it, but just imagine, you have a show, you're performing, and then literally you're just wearing the PJs. Yeah, ready for bed. And your upper is very classy. Yeah. You're playing. Yeah. And then PJs. And then turn it off, go watch Friends. Yeah. No, yeah. I definitely do miss that. Like, I was in school during the pandemic, and so it's like I could attend class in my PJs. Sure. See, I'm down. Yeah. But how would you say, like, do you think it like impacted like the wider scene, the local scene as a whole? Absolutely. And like, has it bounced back from that, or is it still struggling? It's going to struggle for next 5 years, I think, because first of all, timeline changed. Like, everybody is used to sleeping earlier. And like before pandemic, every time when I performed at a bar or a pub, the timeline would be 9 till 1 or 10 till 2. Now, the latest is 11. Like 8 to 11, 7 to 10, because it changed quickly, and they never wanted to come back from that. And unfortunately, that's not going to come back ever again, I think. But it's kind of good for us, because when I go home, I'm like, it's still 11.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
You know?
I have noticed in myself too, I like to go to bed earlier now.
Economically, if you're asking me, that also affected a lot. But
yeah.
I think we're going to, because Canada is a great country for that. Like, we have a lot of opportunities. Mm-hmm. And young people are very, unfortunately, I feel very sad for young people, because younger people don't have the same opportunities as I had when I was younger. Mm. Like, when I came here, I was 22, and there was a lot more opportunities than what you guys have right now.
Yeah.
And I think it has a lot to do with unfortunately, the capitalist heads constantly building condos and charging people $3,000 rather than making it affordable for people like you guys. And it's like a dream of owning a house for people, young people. And that really breaks my heart. But I'm going to do my best to basically try to change politicians' minds. And, you know, I'll always work for that, you know, to
and
provide.
I think that's something that's really powerful about music, is it does have that ability to, like, you know, omit like ideas and change people's minds, but like in a way that makes people want to listen. So I think
absolutely
right. Yeah.
You gain respect. And when you gain respect, obviously people listen to you. And that's very important. You're right on that. Yeah.
Okay. Another question I have. So we're from out of town. If we were coming into Kitchener-Waterloo for like a night out, where would you recommend that we go?
Oh, well, if it is a Thursday, absolutely, you're more than welcome to come to Molly Bloom's. Okay. It's in Waterloo University Plaza.
Yep.
And there's a lot of great venues. I play Rustico earlier at a restaurant. It's an Italian restaurant. And then I go to Molly Bloom's that night for pop music, two different type of music. And in here, I will definitely register theater, check, because they always have music here. And there's center in the square, obviously. But if you're just coming to drink and just relax, then, you know, restaurants are insanely good here. Duke of Wellington, Molly Bloom's, Malt and Barley. There's so many incredible musicians playing on those places.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to finish things up, do you have anything you'd like to plug, like any social media or any events that you have coming up?
Of course. Well, I can give you my Instagram. It's Juneyt. YETKNER, Juneyt.
Okay.
It's my Instagram. It's very hard to say it. I should find something simple.
We'll tag
simple.
it.
Perfect. And I literally perform every day. And we have shows coming up in around with my Gypsy Kings tribute band, Duende. And that's all that comes to my mind right now.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much for having me.